Hello. It is Tuesday, and it's a day of the week that I've been missing significantly for the last couple weeks. It is Taylored Love with my co-host today, Miss Taylor Wood. Oh, there she's coming. She's coming on. Hello, Miss Taylor. We've been missing you on the show lately. Where the heck have you been?
I've been missing you. I am a working woman.
Can I get a heart emoji for that? If anybody's out there watching right now and wants to give, drop a heart. We love the loves because that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about relationships, love, and let me do it again. I wasn't finished my intro. So if you're watching us here on a Tuesday, it is Taylored Love with Taylor Wood. Think Pretty Boutique. She is the CEO, owner of Think Pretty Boutique. So if you go head over to Shop Think Pretty, I'm going to put that on the screen right now, and explore on her website what she's got going on. She's got lots of things happening, but we'll get to the certain piece that she's doing. If you're watching us live right now on Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, just go ahead and hit those like buttons. Heart emojis even better. If you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe, because you'll get this every week. Miss Wood, hello.
Hello, hello.
Here, get a little bit closer. You gotta put that. Gotta put that in your mouth.
Oh, gotta get it right up in there.
That's not something you're unfamiliar with, I'm sure.
Oh, it sure is.
Oh boy. So anyway, we're here talking on a Tuesday, talking about relationships, and we've had quite a little bit of a break, maybe. You know, not unwanted break, just life events happen,
Absolutely.
and we need to catch up on your life a little bit. However, first. We need to show the piece.
Show the piece. Let's do it.
What do you got going on today, this
we've
week?
got this new top.
What is it called? You have a name for it?
It doesn't have a name quite yet. It's a new piece. It's not even launched quite yet, but it's a open top here. It's very versatile. It's also got an
open back.
Open back to it.
Yeah.
And then
we need to have a model in here.
Way. I know, just somebody standing here and just ooh, ah. But it can crisscross here. You can wear it like this way. It's very size friendly. You can adjust the straps however you want. You just tie it over here in the back, and it's very comfortable as well.
So go to Shop Think Pretty Boutique. She doesn't have this particular piece on the website quite yet, but she's got plenty of other tops there. So go ahead and explore, go to your heart's content. And to our members that are watching right now, do they get a special discount, Miss?
They sure do. If you bundle, you can save. So if you buy any 2 items or spend $50 or more, you get free shipping, and then you also get 15% off of your whole entire purchase when you use code ThinkPretty. So go ahead and get some shopping on, bundle up, and the more you spend, the more you save.
That's right. And I think you've come in this tied-up tank before.
I have. Yes.
I have seen the May blue lace up crop.
That was a fan favorite.
Yes, that is a definite RCO favorite. So go again, shopthinkpretty.com. Miss Taylor Wood, hello.
Hi.
Welcome back, Miss.
Hi, I missed you.
Oh, I missed you too.
Oh, that's
It's
so
been a very
sweet.
lonely Tuesday, I would say.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Working double jobs now, going on some more Vegas trips. We've been busy.
So she's gone to Vegas recently.
Yes.
It's so funny. Like I don't necessarily get on Instagram too much, and the one time I do, I see all these pics of Miss Wood with her girlfriends, all kind of lingering around Vegas, and then the next screenshot is like UFC, and I'm like, oh boy, I know who she's with and what she's doing.
Back again. It is true. It is true.
So-
I was back in Vegas. The rumors are true. I went for the UFC fight week. I went to the fights, which was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I don't know if any of you guys are fighters out there, fighter fans, but absolutely amazing experience. 10 out of 10 recommend.
It's because you've been kind of flirting and dating somebody in that realm, right?
Yeah,
I don't know
in
if we've
that
gotten
world.
into name calling yet.
No.
We've gotten into name calling, but not the call outs. Like
No, we definitely should be getting into the call-outs, though. They're well-deserved. So this is the second trip going to Vegas for the same guy for the fight weeks.
Yeah.
Another shit show we had this time around again. So wish I came in here with big smile on my face.
Love stories.
Love
and
story. Maybe an engagement ring. Okay, now we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
for somebody that doesn't want a long-term relationship, sure wants a ring on her finger. She is the everyday girl, I think.
Now that's why I got a snake ring on my finger, because cold heart.
So things particularly happened this weekend, and we do talk about relationships and a little bit into the knee deep, a little bit more into Taylor's life because she's experiencing different experiences. Being 21, she just recently turned 21 this year, and so she's gone out partying and going doing stuff. And I think making the mistakes that I once made, sort of a long time ago. I think I made mistakes like in the last 5 years. But I think as the show has progressed, I think I'm kind of like the father figure in a way. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of like, oh no, shaking my head.
Like, here we go again.
No, that's not how you do it. This is how you do certain things.
Yes.
This is how you go down on somebody.
Well, it's funny because
wealth of experience.
I am a game player. Like I know how to play the game. I know how guys play the game, but just some guys, you get those shields on and you just see right through it, or you don't see right through it. I mean, because they sit there, they stroke your ego, they tell you what you want to hear, and you believe it. I mean, how could you not? They're consistently reassuring you. They're consistently like making themselves like seem insecure about situations, but then they turn around and they screw you over.
Yes, and so because we talked about relationships, we're talking about particular situation. You called it the game.
Yes, the game.
So I think there is an interplay, especially when you're dating somebody and you're kind of fishing out what their strengths and what their weaknesses are. Mm-hmm. And in that game play, because it is a game, you're really testing the other person to see if they're going to benefit you in your life, if they're going to support you in those things. And I think on a female side of things, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, miss. On a female side, you want to test a guy, especially if you like them, especially this one particular genteel man.
Yes.
That you're testing to see if he's going to be committed to you. Mm-hmm. But yet, you also have you have two mindsets, right? You have this mindset of like having a person commit to you and to you alone forever and ever. But then you're like, hey, I'm in this party. The first 2 minutes of her little thing was, I'm out, I'm partying, I know the game, I know how to play it. But then you're frustrated that you can't get this guy to commit to you.
I know, and it's just frustrating because I'm usually pretty good at playing the game with people. Like, I know how to work it. I know how to work around it. But when you're playing with somebody who's just as good as you are in the game, it's hard to compete. And it's hard to see when they're lying and not.
Well, I think you put his value higher than your own.
I do, because I know he wouldn't do the same things that I'm doing for him, for me.
What are you doing for him?
I go on these trips for him. I drop everything. He says, come, I come. He says, jump, I jump, like. It's
always Vegas. It's never like, hey, come to my hometown.
Well, that's the thing is he's invited me there before and I'm like, okay, then let's make it happen. And then when it actually comes down to it, planning when to come out, when to go see him or him come see me, vice versa, it never actually happens.
Do you think, okay, so mind-blowing, right? Mm-hmm. I might blow your mind up.
All right, let's hear it.
Do you think he's not committed to you because you're really not committed yourself?
I mean, it definitely could be, but I've told him multiple times I'm all for him. And if he wanted to, be with me, then he can be with me.
But see, I've known you, too. Okay. So I know Taylor to the certain degree that if a guy did commit to you, you're like, oh, I'm kind of bored now.
Yeah. But it would be different.
It would be?
It would. Well, I don't know. It's difficult because when him and I are together, it always feels like no, it always feels like a game. We go off, we flirt with other people in front of each other to try and make each other jealous. And then it works because it makes us just so interested in going back with each other, ending the night together.
How old is he again?
28. So he's older. He's pushing 30. You would think he might be starting to want to settle down, but apparently no, especially not the realm he's in. I mean, they go out, they travel a lot. They're well-known people. So I mean, I get it. But so here's a little backstory for the viewers out there. He's already heard a little bit about this. Here's a little backstory. So I got invited to go on this Vegas trip with a few of my friends. So we went, and first night was perfect. We had great conversation. We were talking about, each other's interests. We were talking about how we're interested in each other, how he wants me to spend the weekend with him in his hotel, and how he hates to sleep alone, blah, blah, blah. So he's making me promise him I'm not going to ditch him. I'm going to spend the weekend with him. And then the third night, y'all ready for this? The third night.
Sounds like a story. And then on the third
night, dun, 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 I walk into the club, same club he's at. We make direct eye contact. He makes the face of, what are you doing here? Doesn't say anything to me, grabs this girl's hand that he's sitting with and walks away.
Yeah.
Leaves the club, doesn't say anything to me, doesn't say anything to anybody, and then has the audacity to message me an hour or two later asking where I'm at. Where am I at? Getting mad at me that I'm not with him after he left the club with another girl. Explain that. Why would he spend both nights with me just to leave with another girl the third night?
Because he's playing the game like you are.
But he already has a girl. Keep in mind, this girl that he left with, complete opposite of me. Yep. She has black hair. She was older looking, honestly.
Colombian?
No.
They're spicy Colombians.
She was not spicy. I can tell you that. I'm all for girls supporting girls, so I'm not gonna hate on her because she didn't know that he was already kind of booed up, you know. But I mean, she was completely opposite looking than me. Black hair. She looked maybe like 30s, I would say. And I'm like, you got a 21-year-old over here. What you doing, boy? Like, explain that to me. Yeah. Where's the game? Why?
But like I said, I think it goes back to you wanting two different things. You want the commitment, and then you want to play. And rightfully so. I mean, who the hell figures out their shit by the time they're 21 anyway?
Right. And I don't even know if it's commitment I'm looking for. I just think it's more than what I'm getting is what I want. Yeah. Even though I know it's going to hurt me in the end either way, it would have been different if he spent all 3 nights with me like he said he would. Yeah. And then we continue to, live our separate lives the times we're not together. And then get back together when he goes on these fun trips, or if I go visit him in his hometown, he comes visits me, So prior to this whole endeavor, because again, we talk about relationships, and I think you and I have open narratives about some of these things. Mm-hmm. Probably not too much because, we're in front of people. Yeah. But, did you have a conversation with him prior to going out to Vegas his last trip and say, hey, this is where we're at in the relationship, or, I want to know what your status is. What level am I? Am I the girlfriend? Am I the side chick? And if he's like, well, you're kind of on the side, and you agree to go, and then you find out he's with somebody else, it's like, you can't get mad. Was there any, so it goes back to my question, was there any discussion of like what the status was? No, we don't really ever talk about like feelings or emotions or status or anything like that. It's all physical.
If you've seen pictures of him, you would understand why it's kind of physical. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not. I don't like looking at guys, but when I see an attractive guy, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta work on my junk.
He's an attractive guy, yes. Yeah. But no, we don't talk about relationship status over texting. In person, it's like we've known each other forever in person. Like we sit there and we talk and we talk and we talk about God knows what. Yeah. But then it's like over texting, it's like we're strangers.
But I think
I'm non-existent.
I think you're the average person dating, right? Because you don't want to necessarily talk about the real shit. You want to live in the moment. You want to live in the fantasy in a way. Like, oh my God, he texted me today, or because if it gets too real, then you get a little scared. I mean, and that's just knowing you. And I think in general, that people want to live that fantasy romantic life, but then when it comes to the reality of things, going back to like previous conversations we've had, like I want to be able to go and tell the same joke to different people and have them laugh. But then the person that you're with kind of knows the joke already. They're like, oh, he's going to say this next thing.
Right.
And of course, everybody's laughing and you're like, I've heard that a million times. Mm-hmm. So the whole like fantasy kind of fades away.
Right.
And that's why I asked you, I'm like, if he didn't have his stature or, who he was as a person or as a career, would you still like him the same?
That's what me and my friends have been talking about too, because we're like, if we met these guys out in Old Town and we had no idea who they were, like
you'd pass them right up.
I would pass them right up. But it's because they have that status. It comes off in their aura, essentially. Yeah. They're confident, they're cocky, they're
being men.
They're being men, and everybody else wants them. So, of course, we're going to want them too. And then we have them. So it's like we want to keep them. But it's like there's no good ending to this. I know if him and I were to start a relationship, it's long distance anyways. It wouldn't work out. He would probably cheat on me. I would have major trust issues. I'd be there suffering and hurting the whole time. I already know it if we got into a relationship. But here I am suffering and hurting right now because I am confused and I don't have any answers.
Well, because you haven't made the decision. You haven't made the decision to stay with him or not. You know all these circumstances, but you're still caught up in the romantic part of that, like the idea of like being with a quasi celebrity, you know, because like everybody else in Phoenix is like, well, they're just this is another whatever,
Right.
you know. But this guy, you know, he's kind of elevated in a way, and in a way, you want to be kind of on that same level as him.
No, and and that's very true. It's
Your equalizer is the sex part. Your equalizer is to entice him to come running to you that way.
right.
But once that's obtained, it's like, well,
And that's what I guess I'm confused about, because when we first met, it was just a one hookup type of thing.
Yeah.
And I thought I was never going to hear from this guy again. Little did I know, we'd actually start talking a little bit more. He would invite me to those first Vegas trip I went on, then a second Vegas trip. Like, I'm just confused. Like, if it's just a hookup, why is he inviting me to these other places? I'm friends with all of his friends now. Like, they all know me. Like,
think of yourself as a water well, right?
okay.
And if your pipe isn't broken, he's going to come back and drink some more water. And plus, you're making sure it's available for him to drink.
Yes.
And you're kind of announcing, "Hey, I'm over here drinking.
Well,
Look at this drinking water over here. Yeah, I know you're thirsty."
That's what I was thinking, because the third night I was not available to, you know, go back. Well, I was able to go back with him, but like I wasn't willing to have sex with him that night. And I think that's maybe what made him go find a different girl, because I wasn't available for him that night.
Yes. No. I mean, he's in a different spot. I mean, he's not your common emotional male that can't figure himself out.
Right.
You know, everything is basically being handed to him.
Right.
You know, and so in a way, he's kind of used to that. When that's withdrawn, that's when he wants it more, and he tries to put that control back in.
I don't know.
It's a confusing game.
It's confusing, but all I have to say, my piece of advice is, because I've just been overthinking this whole situation since I've got back from Vegas, and that was like 2 days ago.
She still wants to be with him.
I do, and that's the worst part. That's the worst part, because I've been trying to, you know, figure out my self-worth, my self-respect. Do I really want to be with a guy who can just go grab another girl's hand, look me in the eyes, and walk away without saying a word to me, and then not talk about it with me afterwards?
Or even worse, look at you right in the eye and not even recognize you.
Exactly. He made the face of like, oh shit, like what are you doing here type thing. So if there's one piece of advice that I can give to anybody, it's just don't do things for people who aren't going to do the same for you. Don't put your time, don't put your feelings and your emotions into somebody who doesn't care about yours, because their actions say a lot about how they feel about you. What they say and what they don't say really just expresses how they feel.
And again, I think part of this journey for you is to understand what your value is. You are spunky, you're fun, you're a business owner, and
Stop
there's so many great things about you that you don't see for yourself.
Yeah.
And when you see somebody of a higher value, you totally disregard all that and give the one thing you know that'll entice him.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure he doesn't even realize the things you do. Or seeing kind of that you're on podcasts, or seeing that you have a website, or see that you have a business.
Right.
Because that you are further along than most like 40, 50-year-olds.
Right.
You know, and as we help some people start their business, I mean, they're just lost.
Right.
Even older, you know, you're further along than a lot of people. And that is a tremendous value. And I've actually expressed to her that she's really great on these podcasts. You know, she's really good at like talking and feeling comfortable and being very natural, and not seeing that value is like, it's a shame on you.
No, it really is. And I've been really trying to work on that, because like, I know that I forget a lot of the time that I am, you're
a Taylor Wood.
I am a Taylor Wood. I'm one of a kind. What can I say? And I do feel like if I were to go and ask him like, hey, what do I do for work? Like, do I own a business? He knows I go on podcasts. He knows I, have a business and I work the 2 jobs. But I feel like if I were to go up to him and say, what do I do? He'd be like, I don't know.
Well, I think you're just like anybody else, that they're caught in between making a decision, and you don't necessarily want to make it for yourself. You kind of want him to be like the one to direct you. And that falls in the category of most people. Most people want to be told what to do, because their whole life they've been told what to do.
Yeah.
You know, going to school. You go to school in kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade if you graduate high school. Sit down, shut up, do your work, listen to your teacher. Shut down, sit down, do your work, listen to your teacher. You know, and you're kind of told that you need to be told what to do all the time. that translates into life too. And when you find somebody of value, you know, you're like, okay, tell me what to do next. Tell me, what do you want?
Right.
You know, and you're kind of waiting for him to kind of open the door for that. And he never does, because he's often doing his own thing.
Yeah. And I don't think I'll ever get an answer out of him, because we don't talk about our feelings and like things like that. And I know he's not wanting to commit. I know for a fact that he's not looking for a girlfriend right now.
But again, neither are you.
But for him, I would be.
Yeah. Oh,
if he were to ask me to be his girlfriend, I would say yes, which is stupid of me.
It's because you're placing his value above yours.
Exactly. And as people, we need to stop doing that, because at the end of the day, you are stuck with yourself, not the other person. So you need to put yourself first. And a lot of people struggle with that. I struggle with that.
Yeah.
You probably struggle with that. Like, it's so frustrating.
So the thing I tell Violet all the time, because I'm not going to be around forever. You know, she's excuse me, she's about 6 years younger than me, and I know that I got a limited time on here, and chances are she's going to survive me, man. She's a woman; they just live forever. That's a comparative guy. So I know as her partner that I have to prepare her from when I leave, to give her the emotional strength. There's nothing that's going to replace me. So I know that part, but at least I can kind of give her the direction and support and understanding that will translate past my demise or my death. Somebody that's 28, somebody that's 21 doesn't really see that yet, you know, because they're just going for the experiences.
Right.
And they just want to live the moment, you know, but as you get older, like me, you start to realize, but again, like somebody like my dad, who was like 78, still didn't realize that.
Right.
So the emotional kind of maturity has to happen at some point. And if somebody is fed to them constantly, like this guy who's given everything to him, he's never going to realize that what his role is, is support and a partner.
Exactly.
You know? And same thing for you too. I mean, there are certain roles that you're going to take on, and that's going to change depending on your partner.
Right.
But the idea is to kind of have both certainty and uncertainty, to have that safety net, but also kind of the variety enough to kind of enjoy and experience things together.
Right.
But at the same time, if they don't commit to you, if you're not committed to them, then there's no security there.
I don't think there'll ever be security with him and I, if we're being honest. And I could be overthinking this whole thing too, because he could have just been spitting all these words, because it was Vegas. Obviously, we were drunk the whole freaking time we were there. He probably doesn't even remember half the shit he said. So I could be like, oh my God, and then he's probably like, yeah.
Well, and again, I think there is some sincerity when they say it. I mean, there's always been sincerity in the moments that I've had with previous relationships and stuff. Is that necessarily short term? Sure. Is that long term? Not necessarily.
Right.
You know, and it's that inability to understand both. It's that inability to accept your current situation and be okay with your long-term situation. Because I think sometimes you second guess the person you're with, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There's always somebody hotter, always somebody better, always somebody faster.
Yes.
You know, and as a woman too, I mean, there's always going to be somebody hotter, somebody better, somebody faster than you.
And that's what sucks. That's the worst part.
There's going to be somebody with a bigger boob job than you.
That's the worst part.
So we're starting the Taylor Boob Job Fund.
Taylor Boob Job Fund. Go fund me.
Just kidding.
My Venmo is. No.
But I think that goes back to the age. It's that sense of insecurity that you're going through. You're really discovering yourself. And that, you know, there'll be a time where you're just like, screw it. You know, this is who I am. This is all you get.
Right.
You know, not for better, for worse. I will support you in these ways. And I shouldn't say expect, but this is what I want in a relationship. And again, that can change depending on who it is. You know, give yourself a break, one.
Yes.
The other part too, my other advice to most people out there is make a decision. When you are having so much stress and turmoil in your life, you just need to make a decision. And wanting to be with him, but then at the same time being very mad at him, is not making a decision whether you're with him or not.
Absolutely.
You just need to say, hey, you know what? This guy isn't for me. Once you make that decision emotionally, not just in words, but emotionally, all that stress will go away. Because the next time he texts you, you'd be like, whatever.
That takes so much time to get
he is
over
hot,
it. Okay, he's not that hot. He's not that hot. I think I'm better looking than him. Just saying. Just saying.
Then expect him. So you don't give him any more.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, hell no. I'm not.
So in this whole conversation, you say that if he wanted to be your, if he's like, hey, Taylor, I see the error of my ways, and I want to commit myself to you.
Yeah, if he did that, if he poured his heart out to me, hell yeah, wife me up, baby. But if he's gonna keep acting the way he's acting and expecting me to keep doing what I'm doing for him, no, absolutely not.
Given his career, he's pretty much at the end of his career.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Totally. No, 28 for an athlete is getting old.
Yeah, he's not in the UFC either. So it's like if you're not in the UFC by that age, it's kind of time to start maybe thinking about another career path, especially because you've probably been hit in the head one too many times.
Yeah, a number of factors. Mm-hmm. And, again, once he leaves that, because I experienced that through my divorce, my identity was basically lost. Mm-hmm. If your whole identity has been your career in that realm for a number of years, and everybody's bringing you things and you feel so comfortable, all of a sudden it's taken away because of an injury or something else.
Right.
Then who are you?
Right.
Who were you?
Who are you? Nobody. Yeah. Essentially.
So lots of things to think about.
Lots of things.
But we're nearing the end of our
wowzers.
show.
Okay.
And we're at 26 minutes. So I did want to make an announcement. So if you enjoy what you're seeing, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Give us some hearts. Give us some love. And we'll bring you more information every week, not only in Taylor's life, but the information that we share and our understanding of things. I think Taylor comes onto the show to really kind of pick my brain apart about just my experiences and what the hell. Sometimes I kind of maybe advise her on this. I'm like, you went to Vegas to do that? No. This is the way you go to Vegas. And this is how you mess up your life a little bit. So it's all that stuff. But again, if you like what you're seeing and you enjoy it, please hit the like button and share, comment, whatever you need to. I did want to make an announcement though. October 21st, RCO Network is having our private event here. You can buy tickets. Tickets are on the link somewhere below. We're actually, I'll make the announcement today. So I'm proud to announce that we do have Miss Jill Kimmel coming to be our keynote speaker here at our event on October 21st. It's a Thursday. Still a networking event. So if you're a small business entrepreneur or you're thinking about being a small business and want to be an entrepreneur, buy a ticket and see what this whole thing's all about.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great time.
So I'm here with Miss Taylor Wood. If you go ahead and log into shopthingpretty.com.
There she is.
There she is with her tops and crops and everything that pops. Her homepage here. So Taylor here is selling anything that she wears. She brings in some of her items, and you can go Shop Think Pretty and be like Taylor. Okay. Oh crap!
I even have this.
Hold on.
Where's she at? Where am
I going?
This
to tops?
jacket. The Star Spangled.
Am I going to tops?
No, she's in jackets. Actually, I don't even think I have jackets.
Sweatshirts? Oh shit! There's nothing there.
This one. Here, go back to the homepage.
Oh, we're going back to homepage.
This one.
Let me get my face out of the way. This little mystique here. There it is.
Yes. So it's a great little overcoat. It really spices up an outfit. So.
Especially when it's 92 degrees outside. So I will admit, Taylor likes to wear really warm clothing in the summer.
I sure
do. She wore like a turtleneck.
Oh my God, my air conditioning went out in my car today. I was like, this is so fitting. Yeah, that's why turtleneck will not be worn anytime soon.
Oh, shit.
I know we love it. I know it's your fan favorite, but it's too toasty.
So again, Rob Morales, RCO Network, here with Miss Taylor Wood at Shop Think Pretty, our Think Pretty boutique.
Yes.
I get intermixed a little bit. We're here every week talking about relationships. If you want to chime in, if you want to give any comments or questions, go ahead and drop those in. We'll get to them next week. If you want to inquire about Taylor, she is single. Hello, Miss Taylor. She is single and ready to mingle. If you're a young, strapping young man that's ready to commit, but disrespect her a little bit. Disrespect Taylor in a respectful way. She is your girl.
I am your girl.
Oh, shit. But anyway, again, Rob Morales, RCO Network. We're here every week talking about relationships and various other things about the emotional journey, about being small businesses and entrepreneurs. So we'll catch you guys next week.
Next week.
Sure. All right. We'll see y'all.
Peace out.